Divine message revealed. God will smile when you embrace these 3 miraculous steps today. In a quaint English village nestled between rolling hills, a devoted mother named Sarah found herself at the center of a divine storm, grappling with fears that threatened to drown her spirit. Her evenings were once filled with sweet prayers, family gatherings, and laughter, yet now a deep shadow loomed as her beloved child lay stricken with a grave illness. Chilling shadows flickered around their cozy hearth, and an eerie silence replaced the familiar joy in their home. They say miracles happen when least expected. It was one such evening, following yet another desperate prayer, when Sarah encountered the wise pastor. His eyes shimmered with a knowing light, and as he spoke of miraculous tales where faith had touched the hearts of many, Sarah felt a glimmer of hope pierce her darkness. "Divine acts happen when the heart is open, my dear," he urged her. "Believe in the power of prayer." But skepticism twisted in her stomach like a serpent. Colleagues dismissed faith for science, claiming it to be mere fantasy. Yet the suffocating doubt was no match for the flickering flame of devotion buried deep within Sarah. With each whispered prayer during those sleepless nights, she surrendered to an inner voice that beckoned her to embark on a spiritual journey, igniting a battle between disbelief and devotion. In her darkest hour, a dream one night transformed her world. A dazzling light surrounded her, and 3 angelic figures emerged, whispering profound truths. Let go of your fears. Cultivate a heart full of gratitude. Gather your community for united prayers. Sarah awoke, infused with urgency. It was a prophecy she couldn't ignore. Inspired, Sarah rushed to gather her neighbors. "We will pray together for our beloved ones," she urged. The village hall soon hummed with anticipation as villagers came together to focus their hearts on their revered patron saint, the very beacon of hope they turned to in times of strife. But just as they linked hands and lifted their voices in fervent prayer, thunder rolled ominously. A storm descended, tearing through the village like an unrelenting tide. Panic rippled among the gathered souls, sending shivers jolting through their spirits. The storm, fierce and intimidating, threatened to drown their resolve. Yet they stood strong, their hearts beating as one. Sarah's voice resonated, rising above the tempest, for she knew their collective faith had a power greater than the crashing waves. Just when hope seemed dim, a blinding gust of light illuminated the hall. A palpable warmth enveloped them, washing away doubt and despair. Families gasped, tears of joy splashing down dusty cheeks as something miraculous materialized right before their eyes. It was a healing touch, a tangible grace, and every witness felt the air thrum with faith. Hearts opened wide to the divine mystery unfolding. Feelings of awe surged as the walls of skepticism crumbled. The village erupted in joyous celebration. As Sarah knelt, tears streaming down her face, she beheld her child, once frail, now animated with life, not only healed but restored. Yet an undeniable question lingered in the air, hovering with expectation. Was this mere fate, or did they awaken something profoundly divine? The sweetness of the moment sparked curiosity. What astonishing truths awaited them next? And what other miraculous steps did they need to embrace? The echoes of joy washed over the village like a warm spring breeze. Laughter mingled with tears, and hearts, once heavy with sorrow, danced in newfound light. Sarah, still kneeling, felt the softness of the ground beneath her, the coolness of the earth rising to touch her spirit. The miracle had unfolded, but in her heart, a voice whispered, "This is only the beginning." As they embraced one another, many shared tales of blessings experienced in their lives, memories of times when faith had surged like a great tidal wave, sweeping away their doubts. Old Mr. Thompson recounted how a sickness once stole his own son's laughter, but was reversed on a day much like this one, after many prayers gathered at the church. Others nodded, reliving those moments when the impossible became reality, confirming that faith indeed could pierce through any veil of despair. "A new chapter begins today," Sarah whispered, wiping her tears of gratitude. "Let us not forget this day." Her words settled in the gathering like dew in the morning sun. As the villagers started to break apart, a feeling of unity lingered in the air. It wrapped around them like a divine mantle. But beneath her joy, Sarah felt a stirring within, a pull towards action, a calling she could not quite articulate. "What do we do now, Lord?" she prayed softly, her words rising into the fading evening light. Was this miracle given to us simply to relish, or do we have a purpose ahead? The pastor, sensing the fervor that still buzzed within the hearts of the villagers, stepped forward again. "Friends, what we experience is far more than just our prayers answered. This village has awakened a spirit of community that can usher in an even greater divine revelation. Imagine what miracles await if we don't stop praying, if we continue to lift each other up." A collective murmur of excitement rippled through them, igniting enthusiasm like sparks catching on tinder. They felt it. Those 3 steps the angels revealed echoed within their spirits. Let go, cultivate gratitude, and share together. Days followed wrapped in wonder. The villagers began making weekly gatherings, sharing meals, confidences, and entreaties to heaven alongside their often heartfelt laughter. They formed prayer circles and helped each other find strength in their individual struggles. As time passed, Sarah often caught sight of the vibrant faces around her, glowing with a fresh sense of belonging. Yet as they delved deeper, questions arose. What drives this outpouring of happiness? The deeper they explored their faith, the more they pondered the interconnected nature of their prayers and experiences. Encounters with strangers often led to poignant conversations about faith, testament of their growing understanding that miracles were not merely special occasions, but woven into the fabric of everyday existence. Some villagers started witnessing remarkable changes in their lives. Old grievances turned to forgiveness, generations healed by the newfound sense of community. But just as Sarah thought they were on a golden path forward, strange obstacles began to emerge. Doubts from near and far threatened to snare their hearts. Challenges popped up uninvited, with whispers that questioned their unity. A deep spiritual tension descended, anchoring them in uncertainty. What could their next steps be in facing these trials? Would their faith hold steady through the gathering storm still looming ahead? The angelic whisper echoed in her mind, compelling Sarah to reflect. What steps will we embrace next? The air felt charged with potential as they teetered on the cusp of another divine encounter. Would they rise to the challenge that awaited? The sun rose softly over the village, casting a golden hue that kissed the dew-drenched grass. Yet within Sarah, the warmth couldn't chase away the chill of uncertainty that gripped her heart. There was a restlessness in the air, as if the very universe awaited their next move, poised like a bird ready to take flight. She stepped outside her home, drawn by the hum of prayer that seemed to vibrate through the village. As Sarah walked towards the center of town, she found familiar faces congregating in the square. The pastor's voice cut through the murmurs, steady and reassuring, as he rallied the villagers into a circle. "My friends, the time has come for us to rise together against the shadows that threaten our newfound joy. We must stand firm in faith and face the doubts that seek to divide us." Many nodded, their faces a blend of determination and anxiety. Among them was Emma, a young mother whose worries about her children weighed heavy on her heart. "What if we can't hold on to this hope?" she whispered to Sarah, her voice trembling like the leaves above. Sarah placed her hand on Emma's shoulder, an anchor in this storm. "We were not brought here to falter," she replied, her conviction growing stronger. "Let us cling to the miracles we have witnessed. They are the proof we need." The pastor continued, "Each challenge we faced has brought us closer to the essence of our faith. Today, I feel led to share the words that have echoed in my spirit, 3 steps to embrace as we journey forward. With each step, he revealed, an electric energy filled the air, stirring excitement and resolve among the villagers. First, he announced, we must nurture compassion, not just towards ourselves, but to those outside our village. Recognize that our joy isn't only for us. Share it freely as Christ shares his love. Sarah's heart leaped, compassion, a thread that wove them together, binding their hearts like a braided rope. She looked around, meeting eyes filled with eager expectation. Second, the pastor, we must pray without ceasing. Our prayers have power. When we lift our voices together, we fortify our spirits against every doubt. Each whispered fear is countered by a chorus of faith. The villagers exchanged glances, the light of understanding sparking within them. And finally, the pastor proclaimed, let us celebrate every small victory. Even the tiniest act of kindness is a testament to our growth. The filling of our hearts and our lives with gratitude will keep the fire of faith alive. With each step, Sarah felt a change within her, a convergence of strength and purpose. The echoes of laughter and joy blended with moments of prayer, filling their hearts with hope anew. They could face the trials ahead. But even as they rallied around these 3 steps, shadows moved in the distance. Rumors spread of hardship from neighboring communities, of fear creeping back into hearts that once rejoiced. The villagers had to confront a harsh truth. Just as miracles sparkled brightly, so too did doubts threaten their unity. Would their newfound compassion withstand the trials that crept just beyond their borders? Sarah felt the thrill of the unknown brimming ahead, mingling with the urgency in her soul. What awaited them as they took their first steps into this new chapter of faith? As they held hands in prayer, the rising sun illuminated their circle, hinting that the path ahead would demand much more than they anticipated. Would they find the strength to stand firm against a world that sought to pull them apart? The question lingered in the air, echoing in the depths of their spirits. As they ended their prayer, an unexpected silence enveloped the square. The villagers remained locked in their circle, hands intertwined, hearts intertwined. Sarah felt a jolt of anticipation pulse through her. Was it a sign from above? A divine whisper beckoning them deeper into the mystery of faith? Mrs. Callahan, the elder of the village, broke the stillness. Her voice, though frail, carried a weight that silenced the murmurs once more. In moments of trial, we often forget our greatest strength lies in unity. She glanced towards the horizon, where shadows danced like specters. Strength isn't always about standing tall alone. It's about standing together. With each word, Sarah felt her doubts dissipating like fog before the sun. Mrs. Callahan's wisdom seemed to vibrate with the truth they all needed to hear. Companionship, the gentle embrace of shared burdens, was their armor. A bead of sweat trickled down Sarah's brow, reminding her of the growing heat emanating from the sun. It was pressing on them, urging them to take the next step. "What shall we do?" she whispered, almost to herself. Before her voice grew steady, "We need to act, to show our faith through deeds." The pastor stepped forward, his gaze ablaze with fervor. "Then let us become a source of light. Gather food, clothing, whatever we can spare. We will reach out to our neighbors and bring them hope. We might be small, but we are mighty because we stand together." The villagers nodded, feeling a collective pulse of excitement coursing through them. They began to disperse, each determined to contribute. But Sarah lingered for a moment, her heart racing. She turned to Emma, her mind swirling. "Do you think we can truly reach them? What if they don't accept our help?" Emma's eyes softened with understanding. "We won't know unless we try. Jesus didn't hesitate when he reached out to those in need. We must do the same." On that resolute note, Sarah took a deep breath and walked alongside Emma toward the homes where supplies could be gathered. Their footsteps harmonized, echoing the rhythm of hope in a world often filled with despair. As they moved from house to house, the atmosphere shifted. Conversations ignited like sparks. Neighbors came together, fueled by shared purpose. They knitted a tapestry of compassion where each thread counted. Sarah saw Mrs. Thompson, the baker, dividing her leftover bread. Young Matthew was seen collecting clothing offerings from his friends. Each act, no matter how small, became a beacon shining forth. Yet amidst this outpouring of goodwill, Sarah couldn't shake the unease lurking in the corners of her heart. She caught glimpses of faces marked by worry, frowns etched deep from life's relentless storms. Would they truly believe their collective act of kindness was enough to drive back the encroaching shadows? Just as they arrived at the old church, a commotion erupted from the crowd outside. Sarah's heart quickened. In the throng, there were whispers of anxiety, panic rising as fast as the sun. News had reached them. A distant village had fallen into despair, hit hard by misfortune, crying for help. The villagers fell silent, eyes wide. Sarah felt cold reality settle in. This wasn't merely about them anymore. Their compassion would soon be tested. Could they really extend their hands to others when their own struggles loomed just around the corner? Gathering her courage, she stepped forward, feeling the weight of countless eyes upon her. "We mustn't shy away from our calling," she encouraged, voice trembling yet firm. "Here lies our chance to show the heart of God. If we act with compassion, maybe, just maybe, we can make a difference." As murmurs of agreement began bubbling up, a hush fell over the square, thick with anticipation. The challenge loomed large, yet the promise shimmered beneath, the promise of divine delight woven through their collective work. But what if their efforts weren't enough? What if the shadows prevailed despite their unity? Sarah's breath caught in her throat, faced with the unknown. As they turned their eyes toward the horizon, a new light began to twinkle, a foretelling of transformation or tribulation, she couldn't say. Would they seize the moment to show their faith, or would doubt cause their spirits to waver? The question hung heavily in the air. A gentle breeze swept through the square, carrying the weight of uncertainty with it. Sarah felt it tussling her hair, invigorating her spirit. The villagers stood as if frozen, each face reflecting the flickering flame of resolve and fear. Then Emma's hand found Sarah's, a firm grasp grounding her swirling thoughts. "Together," Emma whispered, her voice steady. Emboldened by their shared strength, Sarah took a deep breath, filling her lungs with hope. "Let's gather our hearts and minds," she called out, moving to the front of the crowd. "We might be small, but the love we can share is vast." Echoes of agreement rippled through the villagers. A fire ignited in their eyes, fueled by purpose as they murmured animatedly. "Who will lead us?" a voice rang out from the back. Mrs. Callahan stepped forward. "Leadership lies not in a title, but in action. Let every person here find their role. Whether you gather supplies or spread word, all contribute to the divine work ahead." The crowd erupted into murmurs of support, inspired by her fervent wisdom. With renewed energy, they began to organize, each person finding meaning in their part. Sarah noticed varied expressions, some faces lit with excitement, while others bore the heaviness of doubt. There was John, the blacksmith, melancholy in a corner, wrestling with the choices he faced. Would he risk what little he had left? "John," Sarah called, sensing the internal struggle waging within him. "Your strength can inspire others. Every act of kindness breaks chains of despair. Share what you can." His gaze drifted up, surprise flickering across his face. The gentle seed of courage began to take root in his heart, and he seemed to stand a little taller. As the different groups dispersed to fulfill their tasks, Sarah felt compelled to remain near the old church. It was a sacred place, a symbol of hope, and it would serve as their gathering point. She could feel the pulse of the village around her, energized yet anxious. "Remember," she said as they rounded up, "every bit of kindness shared is like a pebble dropped into a pond. One act sends ripples far beyond what we can see." Some nodded, others were lost in thought, but the collective intent was clear. They were ready to stretch their hands out to those in need. Hours drifted by as villagers filled baskets with food and clothing, their faith manifesting into tangible offerings. An atmosphere of purpose enveloped them, yet doubt still lingered, whispering its taunts. Sarah was caught in its trap once again. "Will they accept us?" she murmured to herself, fidgeting with the hem of her dress. Emma, sensing her restlessness, squeezed her shoulder. "Let God worry about the hearts of others. Our job is to open our hands wide." And just as Sarah lifted her gaze to the sky, a brilliant ray of sunlight broke through the clouds, illuminating the villagers in a golden glow. Shimmering, almost supernatural, it infused hope into their hearts. This moment felt like a divine stamp of approval, God's very own breath of assurance. Then, the voice of the pastor echoed over the crowd. "Let us now come together. With what we have gathered, let's journey forth to our neighbors. May this be a blessing." With this warmth enveloping her, Sarah's heart swelled with anticipation. Their journey held potential for miracles. As they marched beyond the church doors, she stole one last look back. Would they truly stand together in love, or would fear tie them down? A sudden clamor erupted as a child stumbled over the threshold. "They're coming! The folks from the neighboring village! They need us!" The energy shifted, urgency sparking like fire. Sarah and the villagers exchanged glances, courage ignited in the depths of their souls. They were on the cusp of something transformative, but would they embrace it? And as they rushed toward the shadows, a question pulsed through the very fabric of the air. What if this was their moment to shine, to show the heart of God? The horizon called, and so did their faith. As the villagers surged forward, a collective heartbeat echoed through the air, each footfall resonating with purpose. The voices of hope rose above the rustle of leaves, intertwining with the whispers of the wind. Sarah felt a deep stirring within her, a realization that this was more than just an errand, it was a mission of love. They came to the edge of the neighboring village, apprehension hanging thick in the air. The homes felt distant yet familiar, and through the flickering lanterns outside each door, she could see silhouettes shifting inside. Would they welcome this unexpected band of hearts? The question loomed larger than any doubt. The Spirit of God beckoned them to take this step of faith. "Let us stay united," Sarah called, glancing back. "This is our moment to testify. Let our voices rise together." John stood beside her, breathing deeply. The last vestiges of his uncertainty evaporated in the warm glow of the gathered villagers. With steely resolve, he added, "Fear only binds us, but together we can break down these walls." The villagers nodded, and the movement through the village began with renewed vigor. They approached the first home, a small cottage with a worn wooden door. As they stood there, hearts racing, Sarah felt a nudge of divine assurance. The Spirit compelled her to knock, to extend their hands in a meaningful gesture. Murmurs of prayer rose softly, surrounding them like an embrace. Then, with a trembling heart, she tapped on the door. "Good neighbors, we come seeking to share love and support," she called, her voice ringing with belief. The door creaked open slowly, revealing an elder woman with weary eyes that sparkled with the remnants of hope. She blinked in surprise, unsure of what to say at first, her gaze sweeping over the gathering. Why do you come?" she asked, her voice a whisper filled with the weight of pain and longing. With warmth blooming in her chest, Sarah stepped forward, holding out the baskets brimming with food.
"And clothes. We bring offerings for those in need," she replied. "Love can break barriers and heal wounds. We stand firm in the belief that together we can help restore hope." Tears shimmered in the woman's eyes, igniting a soft light in the deepest recesses of her soul. She reached out and took a basket with trembling hands, overwhelmed by the unexpected kindness. "You've come at just the right moment. I feared I was alone." As the crowd pressed forward, more doors opened, revealing many desperate yet hopeful faces. With each home visited, they shared stories and smiles, the spirit of love woven into every interaction. Laughter danced alongside tears, and something magical began to unfold, a unity that transcended their fears, anchoring them in faith. Yet in the middle of this joyful exchange, Sarah felt a flicker of unease creeping in. Was this all they could offer? What if the needs were too great, their love too small to bridge the chasms of despair? Emma sensed her hesitation, leaning close to whisper, "Sarah, even the smallest acts of grace can alter the fabric of someone's life. It's not the size of the offering, but the size of the love behind it that transforms." Her words rang true, igniting something profound in Sarah's heart. They were indeed part of a greater tapestry, woven together by divine purpose. Each kindness was a thread, creating a vibrant picture of hope. But just as the atmosphere swelled with joy, a shadow stretched across their path. A figure emerged from the depths of the village, somber and judge-like, the mayor, glancing down at their gathering with steely eyes. "What gives you the right to intrude?" he demanded, eyebrows knitted in suspicion. Suddenly, the air thickened with tension. The villagers turned to one another, fear quivering in their midst. Sarah's heart pounded. Would they stand their ground? Would they stand together in the face of opposition? The mayor's voice rang out again, but this time it held a challenge to faith, to love, to resilience. And just like that, the fabric of their mission hung in the balance. What would they do now? In that moment, the horizon shimmered with possibility, a glimmering chance to show love in action, to unveil the heart of God before an even greater audience. Would they muster the courage to rise, to speak, to love? Together, they would have to decide, and in that decision lay a divine mystery waiting to be revealed. The air was heavy with anticipation as Sarah stood before the mayor, the weight of his gaze overwhelming. Around her, the villagers held their breath, waiting for something, anything that could shift the atmosphere. She sensed a rustle of hope intermingling with unease, a tension that could either bind them or strengthen their resolve. "Sir," she began, her voice steady though her heart raced, "we are here to share love, support, and unity. Our desire is to spread joy and alleviate burdens. We simply wish to stand with you, not against you." It was as if each word was a thread pulled from the divine, intricately designed to weave together her fears with faith. The mayor's expression shifted slightly, his arms folding over his chest as he considered her words. Love? Support? It's easy to say these things,
"But what do you want from us?" His tone softened, revealing a hint of vulnerability. He was, after all, just a man, often tasked with carrying the weight of expectations from both his village and his own heart. John stepped forward, emboldened by Sarah's courage. "We want nothing but to share what we have. This village needs love, and we want to offer it without strings attached." His sincerity dangled thick in the air, raw and unguarded. Behind them, the villagers stood resolute. Their hearts, once dulled by despair, began to spark with the flames of resilience and connection. The mayor shifted on his feet, visibly wrestling with a growing internal conflict as he glanced over the group, illuminating the flickering echoes of past battles in his own heart. "Do you truly believe that kindness can bridge the divides we have built?" At that moment, Sarah felt an astonishing wave of peace wash over her, a divine assurance that they were in precisely the right place. "Yes," she replied steadfastly, "kindness is not only a bridge, it's a powerful force that can heal. We each possess it." Suddenly, a murmur rippled through the villagers. Inspired by Sarah's words, others began to share their own stories of grace, moments where love had shifted the tides in their own lives. Each testimony became a vibrant brushstroke on the canvas of community, vivid hues illuminating the power of hope. The mayor's brow unfurrowed slightly as he listened. "But what if it's not enough? What if I can't open my heart to your intrusion?" The crowd held its breath, but Sarah responded gently. "We're not here to force change. We come to walk alongside you, to help lift burdens, however small. Together, we can discover what God can do when we take simple steps toward love. We don't have all the answers, but we're willing to share the journey." Echoes of their shared faith reverberated, enveloping the mayor as if the Holy Spirit was wrapping around his heart. Uncertainty hung in the air, but so did possibility, a divine invitation to witness love in action. With hesitation still lingering, the mayor hesitated, yet there was a glimmer of something unyielding in his eyes, a flicker of hope fighting against the darkness. "Very well," he said slowly. "You may continue your offering, but I'll be watching closely." "And we invite you to join us," John added, eyes bright with warmth. "You may find our actions speak louder than our words." As Sarah, John, and the villagers forged ahead, a prevailing sense of purpose began to swell within them. With each knock on a door, each smile shared, they could feel the fissures of doubt beginning to mend. The notion of transforming that village grew ever more real, each act creating ripples of faith in the hearts around them. But even amid the increasing tension and the budding warmth of connection, the underlying question remained: would the mayor ultimately embrace this chance for change? Would his heart open fully to their approach, or would he remain bound by past fears? Just beyond the door of the mayor's skepticism lay a moment waiting to unfold. What divine revelation awaited them next? As the sun dipped low in the sky, casting a golden glow over the village, Sarah and John led the group into the heart of their shared mission. Each step echoed with faith and purpose, a rhythm that mirrored the pulse of their community. They approached the first house, a simple abode with weather-worn walls and a garden filled with wildflowers. A gentle knock on the door brought out Mrs. Thompson, her eyes widening as she recognized the familiar faces. "What is all this?" she asked, a cautious smile spreading across her face. "We're here to share love," Sarah said, warmth emanating from her words. "We want to offer help, a meal, or even simply a listening ear, whatever you need." Mrs. Thompson hesitated, her gaze darting to the ground. "It's been so hard lately. Her voice wavered, echoing the burden she had carried alone for too long. John stepped closer, his eyes steady yet compassionate. "You don't have to carry it alone anymore. Let us help you. Together, we can lighten the load." A warmth infused the air as Mrs. Thompson's defenses began to drop.
Tears sparkled like sunshine in her eyes, and for the first time she felt a flicker of hope. "Really? You mean it?" "Absolutely," Sarah affirmed, her heart swelling with joy. "Just as God loves each of us, we want to love you too." As Mrs. Thompson welcomed them in, laughter and stories flowed freely, weaving a tapestry of connection. The weight of isolation lifted, replaced by the realization that tender bonds were being formed in the light of shared kindness. When they finally stepped back outside, the evening air was thick with the fragrance of blooming flowers, infusing the moments with divine promise. They continued to the next home, sharing their message of hope and witnessing miracles unfold, one heart at a time, one home at a time. With each consecutive visit, more villagers began to open their doors and hearts. They shared not only their needs, but also joys and dreams long tucked away, igniting a shared vision for unity in the village. Amidst this, the mayor observed from a distance, his furrowed brow softening as he saw the transformation unfold. Each act of kindness chipped away at his skepticism. He had spent years building walls, yet here was a group determined to build something far greater, a community of faith, resilience, and love. "Look at what's happening," a villager exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with reverence. "God is at work." Filled with awe, the villagers began to gather, drawn by the magnetic pull of love in action. Sarah stood alongside John, feeling their spirits buoy higher by the collective light growing around them. It was a glimpse of what could be possible when hearts united in purpose. But as the dusk deepened, one pressing thought lingered within Sarah. Would the mayor step beyond his fears and truly embrace the change blooming before him? The deeper truth lay frozen in the air, waiting for an answer. They felt the moment lingering as they approached the town square for their final gathering that evening, the warmth of gratitude glowing in their hearts. What miracle awaited them gathered under the canopy of stars? Would the mayor's heart respond to the divine invitation, or perhaps reveal an unexpected twist that could raise new questions of faith? As they entered the town square, a hush fell over the crowd, punctuating the air with anticipation. Lanterns flickered like stars trapped in glass, casting a tender glow over familiar faces, all eager for what might arise from this sacred gathering. Sarah felt a rush of emotion, her heart whispering a prayer for the mayor's heart to soften, for his barriers to be dismantled by the power of love. John stepped forward, the warmth of his spirit breaking through the silence. Tonight is not just about words or sharing stories. It's about experiencing God's love together. We are all part of this community, bound not by our struggles, but by the light we share. The villagers nodded, their expressions shifting from doubt to hope. In this moment, they saw a path illuminated by the love they had exchanged. The mayor, lingering at the edge of the gathering, watched intently. His wise eyes searched the crowd, absorbing the transformation of his community. From the back, Mrs. Thompson's voice rose with emotion. "Just last week, I felt so alone, trapped in my thoughts." She paused, recalling the dark nights that haunted her. "But your kindness became a lifeline. I'm here tonight, and I can feel the warmth of God's embrace among us." Her sincerity hung in the air like sweet incense, awakening something stirring in the hearts of those around her. One by one, stories flowed, stories of pain met with compassion, of loneliness blossoming into friendship. Each tale unraveled another thread of fear, binding them tighter together in the fabric of faith. As the last rays of the sun melted into horizon's embrace, John drew in a deep breath, sensing the sacred moment. "Let's not hold back," he said, his voice reverberating with urgency. "We are called to love as we have been loved. Let us invite the mayor to join us. Let's show him the beauty of vulnerability, the strength that comes from sharing our burdens." The villagers murmured among themselves, glancing toward the mayor, who seemed both intrigued and hesitant. It was a delicate moment. The atmosphere crackled with unspoken questions. Will he feel the same call to join us? Sarah took a step forward, her heart racing yet steady. "Mayor, please," she called. "Your presence is vital to the healing of our community. Let us unite in this journey." The crowd held its collective breath, and Sarah saw the struggle flickering in his eyes. Years of building barriers against vulnerability, wrestling with the desire for connection. "Trust in God and step forward," John encouraged, his eyes filled with encouragement and faith. With every shiver of tension, a moment of divine hope lingered. The mayor took a tentative step, then another. A gasp rippled through the crowd, echoing through the silence, and Sarah's breath caught in her throat. Then, as if time had slowed, he spoke. "What's happening here? I see it now. It's not just you loving me, it's us learning to love each other." The swell of voices rose in unison. A glorious chorus of amen filled the air, a sound of rippling faith that reached the heavens. Could this be the moment they had all been praying for? But then, just as hope soared like wings, doubt flickered like shadows on the ground. What would be the mayor's final decision? Would he accept this gentle nudge from heaven, or let hesitation lock him away in the chains of cynicism once more? They awaited his response, hearts entwined, ready to embrace whatever came next, or perhaps witness something even greater. As the mayor stepped into the circle of light, a collective breath echoed through the villagers, anticipation hanging like the night stars above them. Sarah's heart raced. What would he say? "I see now," the mayor spoke, his voice trembling yet firm. "All this time, I held tight to my doubts, thinking it was safer. But what I feel here, community, love, and faith, this is the kind of strength I've longed for. This world is dark enough." He paused, his eyes glistening with unshed tears. "I don't want to shut myself away anymore." "We're so much stronger together," John exclaimed, his enthusiasm igniting a spark of hope. The mayor looked around at the faces reflecting vulnerability and warmth. "Please forgive me for standing apart for so long. Engage me in this journey of healing. Let me be a part of this divine mission with you." The atmosphere shifted. A wave of joy rippled through the crowd, resonating like joyful bells. Sarah felt an electric surge of unity wrap around them, entwined with gratitude and anticipation. This moment, the one they had prayed for, was unfolding, a divine affirmation of their shared faith. As they encircled the mayor, hands clasped together, a holy pulse surged like a lifeline. "We will love, support, and care for our neighbors," the pastor declared, his voice strong and sure. "Together we'll face every storm." With each echoed amen, their spirits soared, and the night air filled with a palpable sense of divine energy. Sarah gazed upon her community, her heart swelling with pride and love. They had shown resilience in the face of doubt and despair. And now, were embracing hope. But deep within, Sarah felt a sacred call rising, an unyielding whisper urging them forward. "We must continue this," she declared, the words flowing from her heart. "This unity, this love, it cannot just end here. We have discovered the power of prayer, compassion, and community. Let us establish a mission to support not only ourselves, but also those beyond our reach." The villagers murmured in agreement, their hearts alive with purpose. "We can organize efforts, food drives, prayers for the needy, gatherings of support that stretch far beyond borders," John added, his eyes bright with excitement. "Yes," a voice rang out from the back. What if we could create a network of love, one that reaches every corner? With each idea shared, the crowd fed off one another's excitement like flames catching on dry wood. Sarah felt exhilaration surge within her, realizing that collectively they possessed the power to create sweeping change, to radiate love far and wide. Finally, the mayor stepped forward, no longer a figure of authority isolated by doubt, but a heart aligned with the community's vision. I'll help lead this initiative. Together, we can light up the darkest corners. I promise to walk with you each step of the way. As acceptance settled into every heart, cheers erupted. It rippled through the night sky, awakening the stars above, resonating in the very fabric of their connection. In that sacred moment filled with unity, Sarah's heart warmed with a truth beyond measure. Through love and shared faith, they had sparked a movement, a miraculous journey that would reach far beyond mere healing and into the realms of transformation and grace. Their laughter mingled with tears of joy as they knelt together, hearts woven tightly in prayer. Each voice was lifted towards heaven, thanking God for this manifestation of love, community, and purpose. Their spirits surged as they found strength from the source, the heart of their faith. But even as they gathered in unity, shadows danced in the periphery of their minds. They had tasted divine love, yet they understood challenges lurked, waiting to test their resolve. But armed with their newfound faith and community, they were ready to face whatever might come next. As the last echoes of their prayers faded into the night sky, an electric sense of urgency filled the air. They had taken monumental steps toward becoming a beacon of hope. But it all began with commitment, a commitment to each other and to God's will. That commitment cultivated a flame within Sarah, spreading into the hearts of every villager, a desire to act, to stand witness to the divine. She stood before them all, her heart alight. Let us share this story, our transformation. Let's invite others into this journey of faith. May our actions resound through the world, showcasing God's love. And with that, a profound silence fell as they embraced the weight of new beginnings. Every heart understood that the journey of faith was not just individual, but a collective calling, one that would shake the very foundations of their lives and beyond. As the villagers began to share plans, a sweet peace washed over them, a beautiful spirit connecting them. This was only the beginning. They were destined for something remarkable. Now, dear friends, this is the moment to take our journey further. Subscribe immediately to our channel. You need to witness more stories of faith like this, stories that spark transformation, stories that remind us of God's endless love. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm with the light of hope and connection. Comment your reactions and testimonies. Share what this journey of love ignited within you. And don't wait even one more second. Share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this divine manifestation, who need to feel the warmth of community, and who are ready to step into a life of love. Together, we can light up the world with our faith.